In a sales process, if you're focused on yourself and whoever that you're dealing with that's in that sales conversation, how they react to you can really mess with your emotions, right? But if you can back off a little bit and go, well, this is how they deal with this situation that happens to be stressful for some and not that stressful for others. But if we take it personally and we're all centered around and can't go, oh, well, that's how they deal with it. So this is what we ought to do. Let's back up, let them process this a little bit. And why are they reacting this way? Oh, they're not comfortable with this. Well, let's get them comfortable with that first. That's how they deal with it. Let's be their friend.
Right. It's so funny, right? Like the more insecure you are as a person, the more you think that everything is about you. Mm-hmm. I was reading an Instagram post recently, and it's a counselor I follow who I just think is brilliant. She has wonderful quotes and insights and has this huge following. Dr. Jen Hardy is her name. And she had this post that said, what would you tell your younger self? And you can only imagine posts like that. I mean, people were going crazy. And I was fascinated reading the comments. I don't often allow myself to get drawn in. This is on my own personal Instagram channel, and I don't make time for that during the day typically very much. And I was just engrossed in reading, oh my gosh, if you could only name one or two things, what would you say? And there were a lot of things along the theme of saying, it's not about you, or people are not watching you as closely as you think, and things that are about the insecurity of youth. So that I thought that was funny. I think another way that shows up that's ironic is that I tend to find my clients who sell something very complicated and very technical, in their nervousness, what they'll do is they'll go right to descriptions and forget why people really buy. And they will be very feature oriented. And it's funny to me, and I feel very fortunate that I get paid to work with people on this, because it seems evident to me, but it's not evident to them, right? It's just like whatever your circle of genius is, that's how it is, right? I'll listen to them tell me about conversations, and I'll have these moments where I realize, for example, I had a client that I had this conversation with very recently. I said, it sounds like you're doing a good job of reaching out to your clients during this pandemic and checking in with them, because these are farmers. They have big accounts that they sell to over and over and over again. It's just the kind of industry they're in. But there was just something that was nagging at me when I was listening to the way he was describing the conversations with his clients. And I had this insight, and I thought, all right, I'm going to take a chance and ask this. And I said, I think you ask a lot of questions about them, but I'm suspecting you don't volunteer very much about yourself. And these are farmer accounts. So what I mean by farmer account versus hunter, in that analogy is that if you're assigned or you cultivate and grow, you might have 10 major accounts you sell to over and over again, but you're not always doing a lot of new lead generation of account cultivation, right? That might be, lots of sales positions are like that in corporations. And that was true for this gentleman. And I said, we have worked together off and on for 2 years now. And I think about how little I know of you because you don't volunteer very much about yourself. And if these are your major accounts that you're building rapport with, they probably would appreciate if you would occasionally be more personable. Right? I hesitated to say it that way, but just be more personable and just offer how you're doing. Do you ever do that? Because people, it's the adage that people say over and over again, but I also firmly believe it. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And if they don't know very much about you, and you're supposedly in this long relationship, that feels weird. It feels incongruent, and with how much they're buying from you and how much they're spending. So isn't that funny that someone would pay me to do some sales coaching with them, and I would end up saying, be a friend, ask how they're doing, be a nice human, look for things they would enjoy. And when you're looking for ways to add value to their life and business and success, think about them like you would think of someone that was just a friend. Yeah. Right? What would you do for a friend? And the division in a lot of people's minds between this is professional behavior and this is personal behavior, I do believe that because of the internet, because of social media, because of all kinds of reasons, all of the ways we market differently than when I started 20, 25 years ago, I do think that that's all blurred. more now.
Totally.
And people have a different expectation about what they'll get to know about their salesperson.
Hey, thanks for watching these Golden Nuggets. And as a reward, I got another big fat Golden Nugget just for you. I wrote this book for you to help you get your act together online so you can grow your business better. You're searching, you want to learn. This is a great book. Grab the book, grow your business.
Amazing, right?